Hi! Hello everyone! Welcome back again to my YouTube channel. It's always been your host, SHERLINA AGCOPRA. And today, we will discuss topic on equations transformable to quadratic equations, including rational algebraic equations. Okay? So sit back, relax, and enjoy our math with your host. Okay? We'll start on illustrative example 1. Okay, let's have an illustrative example 1. From the given, x plus 5 over x is equal to negative 6. So from here, you can see that the second term is in fractional form, 5 over x. So therefore, this is an example of rational equations. So to transform this rational equations to quadratic equation in standard form, first thing to do is to find the common denominator. Since the denominator from the equation are 1 and x, therefore the common denominator is x. X is taken from here, the first term, this is over 1, and the second term is the denominator is x. So 1 times x is x. So the common denominator is x. Next is multiply each term by the common denominator x. So both sides of the equation, the left and the right, is multiplied by x. Using distributive property, you got x squared plus 5 is equal to negative 6x. Arrange it to standard form and find the values of a, b, and c. So here it is, our standard form from the original rational equations. Now we have x squared plus 6x plus 5 is equal to 0. So our a here is 1, taken from the quadratic term. And 6, this is 6, not 5. It's taken from the second term or the numerical coefficient of x. And our c is 5. Okay, take note, this is 6. So, in getting the roots or solutions, or rather solution of the transformed equation, same consideration discussed in lesson 2 must be applied in this equation. Choose the method that would easily help you find the roots. In this equation, we will use factoring. So we will examine the quadratic equation. Since 5, the factors of 5 is 1 and 5, and the sum of it is 6, so therefore factoring is the method used to find each roots. Okay? So we have now factors of x plus 1 quantity and x plus 5 quantity is equal to 0 or equated to 0. Applying properties of subtraction, then you got x of 1 is equal to negative 1 and x of 2 is equal to negative 5. So therefore, the values of our x that makes the equation true are negative 1 and negative 5. To check whether these values is correct, or rather are correct, you check by substituting the values of x to the original equation here. When x is negative 1, replace here by negative 1 and do the arithmetic. And if x is negative 5, we change this x to negative 5 here also. And if you found out that the right and the left sides of the equations are equal, then we could say that these values of x are correct. Okay? Now let's go to illustrative example 2. Given 2 over x plus 2 plus 3 over x minus 3 equals 2, find the roots. So from here, from the given equation, you can see that these are in fractions, so fractional form. So therefore, this is an example of rational equations. We can transform this to quadratic equations in standard form. But how? Okay, first thing to do is to find the common denominator or the LCM or least common multiple. Since the denominators from the equations are x plus 2 is taken from here, and x minus 3, therefore the common denominator is the quantity x plus 2 taken from here and x minus 3 taken from here. And then applying a distributive property, multiply to both sides of the equation, the left and the right sides of the equation, and then simplify. Then you got an equation like this, wherein it is 2 times the quantity x minus 3 plus 3 times the quantity x plus 2 is equal to 2 times x plus 2 times the quantity x minus 2. And then simplify by combining like terms and then arrange it into standard form, where you can apply also here properties, and then you got a quadratic equation in standard form, where our a is negative 2, our b is 7, and our c is 12. So in here, you can see that any method you can use, but as you can, after examining the result, what do you think is the method to use? Okay? So I leave it to you. Now, after examining the behavior of the equation, we decided to use the quadratic formula. So, we already determined the value of a, negative 2, the b, which is 7, and c is 12. So, from there, we just substitute it to the quadratic formula here. So, after substituting the value of a, b, and c to the formula, then you got the value of x, or x sub 1. Since there are two roots, we consider it x sub 1 and x sub 2. And our x of 1 should be negative 7 plus, so this is negative 7 here, plus square root of 145 over 4. And x of 2 is negative 7. This is negative 7, but instead this is minus square root of 145 over 4. Okay? So to check your answer, if this is correct solution, x sub 1 and x sub 2, you just substitute this part here to the original equations. Once the left and the right sides of the equations are equal, then the solution x sub 1 and x sub 2 are true. Okay? So, I cannot show you how to check, but I give it to you as, or I just leave it to you to do. Okay? Checking is left for you to do. Okay? So, practice, pag may time. Yes, we're done. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something from it. Bye for now. See you next time. But don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. God bless.